Hey, welcome back. We have I think that's a knife here. Guess we'll find out in a minute. Using the Demco 80-20.5 to open it there. And let's see what we got. This should be interesting. A friend of the channel sent in a knife here to check out. Said it was something that I should get my hands on. So let's see if it's valid. This person does prefer washers to bearings. So we'll have to see. Oh man, that's a nice little Herman right there, though. All right, I heard a lot about these guys. Heard a lot about them. Interesting little flipper tab, a little sharp. That is some good action, though. Oof, pretty much what you'd expect. Just really crisp. It's almost like the Roosevelt of flippers. Yeah, that is not bad, I have to admit. There are only like a handful of flippers that have stood out to me that I really enjoyed the action on. I'd say this would be right up there with the best of them. Nice little knife, like really like the titanium finishing on there. It is certainly very nice looking. Love the pivot hardware. They did an M390 blade steel. The thing is super centered, so no problem there. It's a nice little mini goblin size, I believe. Man, that thing is pokey though. Not the biggest fan of an edge like that. That's just a high probability of potential injury when you have such a sharp, pointy end on it. It's not a terrible thing or whatever, but not my favorite configuration. Now, what I do really love here is this, it looks like, what is it exactly? Is it an inset liner lock, or can't tell if it's an inset frame lock or if it's a liner lock. I think it's a liner lock. Yeah, I see the hardware back here. I missed that. So a nice little liner lock. Man, that's really nice action though. And it's got a nice little ting, dong, dong, when it deploys. Like the feel in the hand quite a bit, very ergo. Nowhere to choke up. I think that'd be the one thing I would look for on this, would be like a nice little choil up here to choke up with. That would be, you know, you'd lose some cutting edge, but man, that would be really nice. Really good in this, you know, you don't have jimping, but it feels very confident, inspiring for a draw cut. You know, they make quality knives. It's my first Herman I've handled, but I can tell you the reputation is that they make quality knives and you can feel it right away. Proudly made in Poland. Interesting. I didn't know that Herman was a Polish brand. For some reason I thought it was maybe a US brand, but maybe I thought it was German or something. I don't know. Polish, very cool. It's a little pokey on the back, by the way. This back spacer is not completely flush with the handle, and it might be something that could be adjusted. But yeah, if I had a criticism of it, it'd be that and the fact that you have so much hardware. That's like a lot of, it's so interesting because on this side you have one proprietary piece of hardware, kind of these little show-through screws here. And on this side you just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all in one place. Kind of an interesting configuration. You do have hidden hardware here to a degree. Nicely milled out on the inside of the scale. Probably only weighs 3.75 ounces if I had to guess. Let's give it a little weigh in. Sorry. Waiting for something magical to happen. 3.4 ounces, even lighter than I thought. So that is a nice little knife there, I have to say. I do really want to, that's tempting. Like it makes me want to choke up on it. And man, that thing's got a very sharp edge on it. You wouldn't want to do that by mistake. Crazy flat grind there, by the way, all the way from the top. Just a beautiful flat grind. You can see with a plunge, it runs all the way to the top there. That's definitely a beautiful grind on it, and maybe like a bead blasted finish. Nice little bead blasted finish on there, I believe. Let's pull this back out and give it a little wipe. Yeah. Sweetie, very nice. Thanks for sending that in, my friend. Don't believe that one's on washers, but if I'm wrong, yeah, I think I see bearings in there. So it's like, man, if that's a washer knife and you're just trying to convince me that washers have good action, that would have been pretty surprising. It's not quite gravity drop shut, but it's not far off. It's kind of like, how do you measure it exactly? This one is pretty close. It's not like it's just gonna fall down. You have to give it a little momentum and it will, but man, that's nice. Very cool, nice knife. Thanks for sending that in and supporting the channel. The only other things I would call out, just really without like having to completely change the angle, the knockdown around the edges is probably a little notable. They round it off, but they don't like knock it down, so it just feels good in hand, but it doesn't look bad. It's not kind of like, it doesn't, you don't feel like a transition, so I do like that. That's one last call out there. Herman, nice stuff. All for now. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.